that a third to a half of all suicides are the result of a same day crisis, such as a relationship breakup or getting fired from a job. And many people, and I talked about the young Olympian before, and many people think, well, how do we deal with this? Well, often when people like me give talks, they tell you about all the amazing things that they've done. Well, I'm going to tell you about my biggest failure. In 2012, I was living in the UK, and I had always wanted to do a magic trick in front of a large audience. And I thought, finally, this is my chance. So I came up with this magic trick. I did a few rehearsals for this, and all the rehearsals went really well. It came to the day of filming, and I said, I need 20 minutes backstage before I go on to set this up. And they said, that's fine, that's not a problem. Unfortunately, someone came to me at 4:30 in the afternoon, and they said, we need you on stage now. So nothing was set up correctly. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But everything that could not possibly have gone wrong also somehow managed to go wrong. I had 3,000 people in the audience yelling off, off, off. It's one of the absolute worst moments of my entire life. But it got worse than that, because Amanda Holden was absolutely horrible about my teeth, and this was going to be broadcast in front of 12 million people. So if you're going to fail big, right? Yeah, when this happened, I thought my life was ruined. I thought, any time I want to apply for a job, someone's going to Google my name and say, no way. And then any time I want to get into a relationship with someone, they're going to Google my name and say, no way. So I was running school camps in the UK at the time, and a new group came in the day after the show aired. And I was really, really hoping they had not seen the most popular show on TV. Well, they had, and they asked me what happened. Well, first of all, I went round and I asked them what their talents were, and it came to me, and I said, my talent is failing. And they all laughed at me. But then I said, no, I'm serious. Anyone can fail once. That requires no effort and no skill. But to have the talent of failing, you need to fall off the horse, get back up, and try again. Now, this was a group of teenagers. They didn't give me a lot of feedback at the time, but afterwards a couple of them came up to me and they said, we think you're one of the most inspiring people we've ever met. And I thought, hold on. I made a turkey out of myself on national TV, and they were calling me inspiring. And to be honest, I thought they were just being nice about it. But then another group came in, they'd seen the show, I told them the story, and I got the same reaction from them. So I didn't really know why people liked this story, but since I got a good reaction from two groups, I've told more and more people this. I did a TEDx talk on this a couple of years ago. It was only when I started to meet people like that young Olympian that I started to realise that actually failure has a devastating consequence for so many people. In fact, for some people, it leads to suicide. But it doesn't have to be that way. I think the way we got into this mess is we love to give certificates of participation for everything. So we don't want anyone to fail in school, we don't want anyone to feel bad. And the problem is, in real life, if you experience a relationship breakup, you do not get a certificate of participation. Divorce proceedings may be, but not a certificate of participation. And so a lot of people have grown up in this culture where they don't know how to fail. But we can change this. I've already talked about Abraham Lincoln, that he had a business that failed and it took him 17 years to pay off the debt. If you want to do something about suicide, I dare people to share their big failures with other people. It's all very well for me telling the story of how much of an idiot I made of myself on national TV, but actually, everyone's got a story of failure. And if we share that, maybe when other people do have a bad experience, like they get fired from a job or they have a relationship breakup, if they think that, well, actually, other people overcame failure and I can too, maybe suicide won't seem like such a good option. I said that when the disaster on Britain's Got Talent happened to me, I thought my life was ruined. I can tell you today I am genuinely happy and I love what I do for a job. I give somewhere between 150 to 200 talks around the country every year, so I'm not exactly short of work. A few years ago I met the wonderful Avita. Now yes, when I met her she did Google my name, and yes, there was some explaining to do, but we got there eventually and I've got the ring to prove it. We just had our first child. So the point is that even if you fail spectacularly, it does not need to be the end and you can recover from that.
That's awesome.